Board of Education. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
We have quorum. Okay, Dr. Shebor, do you do the oath of office appointing me?
Yep, absolutely. So be it resolved, the board does hereby appoint Marissa Frederick as district clerk for the 2020-2021 school year effective July 2020, or July 2nd, 2020, with a stipend for the school year of $7,000.
Motion.
Second.
Gabe and Faith,
Take
we
your
have a
pick.
motion. We have a motion. Gabe, Faith is the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank
Okay.
you.
District clerk, take over.
Okay, so next up is the call for the election of a board president. Do I have nominations, please?
I would like to nominate Ann Lawless.
Is there anybody seconding that nomination?
A second.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we'll pass the gavel to the president. I am passing you, oh,
I'm sorry, Marissa.
go ahead.
Are there any
Go
other nominations for president? Hearing no nominations, the nominations are closed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations,
Aye.
Ann.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Madam President, the gavel's yours.
Okay, thank you. So now I would like to call for nominations for the office of vice president.
I will nominate Ned Copal, Vice President.
A second.
So we have a nomination and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations, Ned.
Congratulations, Ned.
Get it, Ned.
Okay,
Thank you,
so,
everyone. Thank you.
so Marissa said that these oaths, plus Colonel Marston's oath, plus the 3 board members that were reelected oath, they all have to be done in person. So we have to make arrangements to meet with Marissa one day next week or the week after to get sworn in.
Okay.
So if everyone could touch base with her. Is that
I don't know
okay?
what's easier
Marissa,
for
you do
people.
it every day?
Yeah, and on Tuesday, we're gonna be in the IS building because there's not gonna be any water running. So if that's easier for you, it's certainly easier to park. If you want to come to IS on Tuesday, I'm there from 8 to 4.
Okay. And you'll have your things that you need?
I will pick them up in the morning. I just need the stamp.
Okay.
And the book, which I will actually so make that 8:30 to 4. Because I'll go to high school first and grab my stuff and then I'll come. That'd be great. And my phone is forwarded to my cell phone. So if you need to get me, to let me know you're on your way. This way I meet you at the front door because I don't think you can get in. To
No,
the
our
doors.
keys are disabled. I tried today.
All right.
I'll be by on Tuesday also, Marissa.
Okay, terrific.
Andrea, I'm sorry, but this
Yes.
is why I use my computer. Can you tell me how I get back to the grid view?
Oh, so if you mouse over the bottom of the screen where everybody is, you'll see 3 little dots in the bottom right corner.
Yeah,
And when you click on that, you can go to change layout,
yes.
and there's an option to choose tiled.
Thank you so much.
You're
Sorry
welcome.
about that, everybody. Sorry. Okay. Okay, we're done with that. Now, I think we need to come back because I don't see Colonel Marston on yet. Am I right?
Correct.
That's
Okay.
correct.
So let's go to recognizing Mrs. Roxanne Donnery as the legislative liaison to the Highland Falls Fort Montgomery Central School District for purpose of representing the district in the area of federal impact aid.
Second?
Motion?
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Should we just appoint Colonel Marston or should we wait, Frank?
He has accepted it, so we could just appoint him. Roxanne's not here, so that's an abstention as well, so that's
Okay,
her.
okay. The Board of Education does hereby recognize Colonel Cecil Morrison as West Point liaison to the Highland Falls Fort Montgomery Central School District.
Second.
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Right.
Motion carries. Okay, now, I just had a question for the consent agenda. Why we can't do the consent agenda the way we always used to do it? I know we
No,
can.
we
'cause
absolutely,
did it that way last year.
yeah, we absolutely can. It looks like the language for it, you could just take all of G as a consent item.
Mhm.
It's just the way it was, what it formatted it in there in.
Yeah,
You could take, in theory, everything on it, the remaining of the reorg is consent.
Do you want me to read that, Ann?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Use of the consent agenda permits the Board of Education to make use of its time by adopting a single motion to cover those relatively routine which are included matters. Any member who wishes to discuss individually a particular piece of business on the consent agenda may so indicate, and that item will be considered and voted on separately, reserving the right of all board members to be heard on any issue. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following consent agenda superintendents of schools. Item G.
So that's 1 through 30?
That would be 1 through 30, correct?
Motion.
Okay, can I get a motion? Thank you, Gabe.
Second.
Second, Faith. Does anyone have any questions on 1 through 30? Questions or comments?
Nope.
All in Okay. favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now, motion to adjourn our annual organizational meeting and open our business meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so now we will go to our business meeting, and I am going to let Denise take over.
You want to do comments? Do you want to go right to the consent agenda?
Hold on, please. Is there, thank you. I couldn't get the agenda to open. I have too many electronics going on. So are there any Board of Education comments?
Yeah, what's the status of the Jim Cannon tree and the memorial that has been removed?
Tom can probably just give a little bit more detail, but it was relocated to a spot that wouldn't be disturbed again, Ned, closer to the building. We had removed a pine tree there. This will give it an opportunity to get plenty of sun. And they were very careful. They had a very big hole dug when they removed that pine tree. And they're going to reset that stone in the ground so it's not just sitting on the ground.
Thanks, Frank.
Tom, is there anything I missed?
No, you got it all. You got it all, boss.
I have a comment. I just wanted to comment on all of the end of year celebrations at all of the different schools. They were all really cool to watch, really exciting, very well done with the resources that you had to do them. Very genuine is really the word that I would use to describe them. So that was very much appreciated. The honor walk that happened at the high school was incredible. I heard nothing but really positive feedback. I shared some of that with Frank and Ann. Even the biggest haters on Facebook, the whole process were really taken back and really touched by the whole thing. So I'm really glad that we were able to pull that off. And I think it was a beautiful introduction to the new field, which is just incredible. It's, beautiful. to see. And I'm glad that that many people were able to come out safely to see that. And I did hear a lot of rumblings, and I was one of the ones rumbling with how beautiful it is. It's hard for me to imagine going back to an indoor graduation at West Point because our field is so beautiful. So that said, let that percolate. So, but it was all very well done. So I really appreciate all the effort. It was a huge task, but it paid off for everybody. And I think the community was really appreciative.
And I agree 100%. That was going to be my comment. So
Sorry.
no, that's fine. I sent an email out. I was absolutely just thrilled to death and so proud, from down to pre-K all the way up to high school. I was just so proud and thrilled. And I thank everybody for all they did. It'll be a year we won't forget for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Sheboy?
So I'll just be brief. We had a lot of things happen at the end of the year, and I would be remiss if I didn't, really commend all of the principals, the directors, everybody who had any role in any of our ceremonies. And while we did send private thank you to our contractors, we want to make sure to make a public acknowledgement that the honor walk and diploma ceremony would not have been possible without the collaboration of all of the contractors from the capital project at O'Neill, headed up by Joe Tola and Michael Carmine from Savins, Scott Dool from BCA, all the primes. They were generous, not only with their resources and their efforts, but with their time personally, to make sure that our students, our seniors who had a disrupted senior year already, were able to be honored appropriately. But kudos to all of our team from all of the buildings, to Andrea, to Denise, for all that you did to support it. As well as a bad year of events could end, our year ended well. So just my public thank you for all that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Job well done.
Okay, Denise?
Hi, we're just busy trying to get ready to audit. So the year end went pretty smooth on our side. We're still continuing to get, going on the beginning of the school year. So all in all, we're just busy doing that. So it's all going forward. So thanks everybody for their support also.
Thank you. Andrea?
Yeah, I just have to echo all of the kudos for a job well done on all levels of the organization and the board for all your support as we work through all of the the different hoops that we had to get through to get it all done. We are in high gear for planning for September 1st, which is 2 months from yesterday. And we are making plans to come back in 3 different ways. And one would be virtual, one would be a hybrid model, and one would be brick and mortar in our schools. We do not know what it will look like. We don't have any of those models defined with the details at this time. And so we'll know more and be able to plan better once we have guidance from the governor's office or from state education.
Hey, Andrea, real
Yeah.
quick, I don't mean to cut you off. While you're on the subject, though, I just want to, so people who are watching or listening are clear. While we're prepared for all 3 options, the decision is not going to come from us. It's going to come from the state. So I think a lot of people are saying, our district, we want this. It's not this decision is not coming from us. We're just following our directives. I just want people to make sure they're clear on that. It's not us that saying their kids can't go back to school.
No, absolutely not. Thank you, Aaron, for the clarification. It is not. We are planning just so that we have some baseline plans to work from. And we got a lot of feedback from the community, all from the surveys that we sent out, from parents, from teachers, from students. We pulled together a task force to tackle this. I met with an instructional subcommittee 4 weeks in a row before we dismissed from school for the year. And so we have a lot of information. We're working through that. We're looking at what we did well. We're looking at areas where we need to make some changes so that we can meet students' needs in different ways. And all of that's being taken into consideration as we create the plans for these 3 different scenarios. And then once we have guidance from the state, we'll be able to make changes to the scenarios and be able to release some additional information. But as of right now, we don't know anything, as you said, and until we get guidance from state ed, we won't be able to.
That'll be the next thing I start pushing for after we find out what our money is. I'll just keep on sending texts and emails because we need answers. And I don't think anybody has them.
Now,
And
the
just like we
governor,
did with our budget, like we had to come up with all different plans for our budget. That's exactly what we're doing now with how we're going to open our schools.
100%.
and there has to be some relief, it's got to be legislative relief for some of the requirements that we are held to, regardless of what we ultimately have, because, while we anticipate being back in September, the epidemiologists are saying this could reemerge, and we have to be able to pivot, and any plan that we put together will have built-in flexibility.
Yep.
Great work.
And we got our board newspapers today, and it talked about for the average school how much it's going to cost extra just to be able to open their doors, no matter what model you pick, in September. And it's scary. They have to help us. So, but thank you. I know everyone's working really hard, and we very much appreciate it.
Yeah.
Beth, do you have any?
I just want
Go ahead.
to piggyback on what you were saying in terms of that, the frustration of not having any guidance. That was the large part of the conversation at the OXPA meeting we had this week, that did have the executive director from NYSBA present for that. Basically he was just very supportive of all of the districts, that we're all facing the same question marks, and they are doing everything that they can to advocate on all of our behalfs, to try to get some answers, but everyone is in the same position. But there is a lot of advocacy and pushing behind all of those kinds of facts, really understanding the financial impact in order to be able to plan. So that's in the works.
Thank you. Beth, do you have anything for us today?
I would just say that I think that, all of the celebrations were great, and it was, although not the same, certainly rewarding to be able to watch them all. We have students that are receiving summer services. We only have one student that's going to in-person services. All of our other students are having their services provided remotely. And we're just waiting for September to find out what that will be for our out-of-district students, as well as our in-district students and our preschoolers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel?
I just want to add on and echo with the celebrations. It was beautiful to see what each school did in the same kind of vein, but celebrating in a unique way to that particular grade and those particular kids and the teachers that organized that together. I was incredibly proud of our pre-K team and our second team for the work that they did. I think they showcased the kids in such a beautiful and special way. So I made sure that I definitely shared that with them. So I appreciate all of your sentiments as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
The end of the year, you're welcome. The end of the year went pretty well, I would say. We spent a good amount of time thinking about what next year will look like in terms of curriculum. While we don't know the model that we'll be using without that guidance from state ed yet, we did start to think about the curriculum and how we could add time into units to do some enrichment work with kids, to maybe circle back to standards that they didn't have as much of an opportunity to dig deeper into. So we've started planning what that will look like. And then this month I'll be planning with a team of teachers across FMES and HFIS to consider what our literacy curriculum will look like and how we can incorporate technology in whatever way, wherever model we're using. So I'm excited to do that work.
Thank you. Thomas? Tom?
I don't have nothing, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to your team of workers that really helped a lot at the honor walk. All their hard work truly paid off. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that Colonel Marson that joined?
Hey, it sure is, ma'am. How are y'all doing today? Or I should say this evening. Happy 4th of July.
Same to you. Same to you. At the beginning of the meeting, Colonel Marson, we appointed you officially our West Point liaison to our school district and our school board. So thank you, and welcome.
Thank you very much. Dark days are ahead now. Dark days are ahead.
Don't
By the
say
way,
that.
this made. All right, thanks.
No, it isn't. No. Okay, so, Mary Jane, do you have any comments for us?
I do not. I do
Okay.
not.
Thank you. Denise,
Ready?
I'm ready. Do you want me to do it?
Use
or
of
you got it?
the agenda. I got it. I'm good.
Okay.
A use of the agenda permits the Board of Education to make more effective use of its time by adopting a single motion to cover the routine matters which are included. And any member of the board who wishes to discuss individual particular piece of business on the consent agenda may so aid, and that item will be considered and voted on separately, thus preserving the right board members to be heard on any issue. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following consent agenda as submitted by the superintendent of schools, numbers 2 to 13.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Frank, I have a quick question on number 13. So I know that we're not appointing coaches because we don't know what our sports are going to look like. So I guess I just need to know, why is this one on there?
We actually could just strike that one line. What this would enable us to do is start the ball in motion for this child to participate with volleyball if they actually do it. I mean, if they don't have swimming, then they wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So, but this would start
Okay.
the agreement. So we could just strike the line, appoint as coach. I mean, it's an unpaid position anyway, but
No,
we
it's
could-
fine. I'm just saying, since we're specifically not appointing our
Right.
coaches because we're waiting to hear, but if it's to get the ball rolling, that's fine.
Okay,
Okay.
so I struck the line, Stephanie Erickson will serve as swim coach.
No, I don't think you need
Or
to.
leave
If
it.
it's to get- Yeah, you can leave it.
Okay,
Yeah,
It's to
because
get
if,
the ball rolling, the paperwork in place.
absolutely. And if they're not doing sports, it won't matter anyway. And if we're not doing
Right.
sport, as Section 9 won't allow it, or New York State Public High School Athletic Association won't allow it, it's a moot point, but it allows us to set up, the agreements and documents between the district and.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second. Does anyone have any other questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Does anyone have any discussion items?
Progress on the high school?
So guys, you saw it. Hold on, Frank. You saw it with your own eyes. So not much has changed since you were there, except for that the water's being shut off on Tuesday to move forward with the project. So you saw it. It's a disaster zone that's going to be beautiful someday real soon. But there's no real updates per se because it's back. Everything is full motion ahead. Exactly what we said last week. They're putting the floor on in the stage, the science rooms. Frank and the team has moved out of their offices. So when we have an update that's worth sharing with pictures, I promise you, and video, I promise you it'll be sent out. But right now, like Marissa just said, they have to move out of the building on Tuesday for at least the day, maybe longer. Go ahead. I can't hear you.
Sorry. The last meeting with Savin and the contractors, they do plan to, if we were to be in school, first day of September, school would be done, most of the project would be done, and they're on schedule for that.
So that's a great question, Gabe. and I can address it because we actually had a meeting today, an owners meeting today. And there is one concern that we have as far as timeline, and it is absolutely unrelated to our workers and our ability to get it done. It's a supply chain issue. The epoxy resin countertops for the science labs, because of COVID, the plant that makes them, and apparently it's not like I can just go to Home Depot and buy them. Those in all likelihood will not be ready. So we had a choice, and that choice was to buy what I truly believe is an inferior product, or to go with a temporary solution while we wait for those science countertops to be manufactured, the ones that we want, that are the best for our kids. And we elected to wait. We're going to have top quality plywood installed for the short term. And once those countertops are available, our hope actually is that since other school districts and other schools are in the same boat and are given the choice of switching to this other type of resin top, it just doesn't have the heat resistance to it, and it doesn't have the impenetrability of it, that maybe others are switching, and that'll move us ahead in the queue. Our casework is already, it's going to be delivered mid-July. I mean, we are in, we're moving forward. And if I do get a chance to shoot some video early next week, I'll send it out next week just to give that update. I'm chomping at the bit too, Gus. I can't wait to get in there. But a lot of work is going on. And, but that's the only thing we think that will be something that's going to hold us up. And countertops, you can't do your final plumbing and nose until they're in. You won't be able to do your gas fittings, and that was really the biggest issue, is the heat resistance and the penetrability concern that we had. If we went with an inferior product, we're going to wait and go with the right product.
Good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we look forward to any additional video when you can do it safely. Okay, does anyone have anything else? Okay, then I would like to make a motion for us to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing the employment history of particular individuals. And we may be coming back into open session, but I doubt it. But if we are, Mary Jean, we'll call you and tell you. I'll make sure Marissa tells you.
You're going to call me too, right? You're going to call me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And
Ned.
can I interrupt for 1 second? At a time that's convenient for you, could Regina just discuss with you and the board members the library reading program, just so that there's some coordination there?
Yeah, when is our next meeting?
Not until August. If it pleases the board, it's probably the best opportunity to do that now.
By chance, Ned, is she available now?
Let me grab.
What is this for? The summer reading program?
Yes, that's what Ned said. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm right here. I just asked that you reach out to, your constituents and your teachers, that there is a very exciting online summer reading program. If they go to the Highland Falls website, the Highland Falls Library website, it's called Imagine a Story. And it will be done online. And I presume that your children of all ages still have their Chromebooks that they can get on. We already have 28 young people signed up for it. And we also have an adult online book session. And for the toddlers, we have story time every week. So I think it'll keep them engaged, and it will be imagine your own stories. And at the end, you get a prize. I don't know what it is, but a prize or prizes.
Hey, Regina.
What?
This is Aaron. Does the library have a flyer or anything like that that I can promote on my social media when I do my summer activities and things?
Absolutely.
Send that to me. I'll get that out.
I will grab one from the library. They're posted on our front door. As usual, we're still closed, but there were multiple flyers out there, and They take all comers for this.
You'll get it. Joe?
No, normally the kids would come in during the summer, but now
Yeah.
they're going to do it online.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to be able to get that information out there.
And we can
If
even
you-
push that out through
if
Class
anybody has-
Dojo. And
If
also,
anybody- Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Regina, we can push that out through the website. We can send out a class link. We can send out Class Dojo and get it out to all the children in grades, 1 through, or I guess K through 8.
K through 8, and then, tell their parents there's story time for toddlers.
Hey, Regina,
I'm listening.
all the branches are open starting Monday, regular normal operating hours. So if you want to drop flyers off at the Highland Falls branch for whatever you guys are promoting.
We're promoting everything. You can even send in a picture of your garden. They're going to have a garden of the month online.
Nice.
Go to the Highland Falls website, library website. It's very exciting and very professionally done.
Definitely will.
Any update on a Chromebook?
Yes, so
They all-
not everybody turned, Ned was supposed to tell you.
Who's
Ned,
that?
Ann.
No, I'm saying who's Ned? Go ahead.
Oh, who's Ned? Ned was supposed to let you know that a few people did not take theirs. They turned them in so that I would find out from Andrea what exactly she needed. I know there would be a letter on the library's letterhead that
Right.
would request a few of the Chromebooks. Correct, Andrea? That's what we need?
Yes.
And,
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so I have an emotion and a second to go into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Happy
And you
4th.
can just text me if you need me to come back